Hello guys, my name is Amit Sani and I welcome you in this daily Hindu analysis video. In the morning these videos come, in the evening the PIB videos come, and today is Monday, so many articles are there, 6 articles are there, and all are having some importance there. So we are going to discuss them quickly, and the PDF you will get on the Telegram channel and on my StudyIQ on my Facebook group, Amit Sani group for IAS preparation. So send me request there and I upload these videos, these PDFs daily there. Now with the motivation, it's simple whether you get tough on yourself or life will automatically be tough on you. That is the thing, because by default there are problems in life. By default it will be a mess. By default it will be always trying to become a chaos as the life is. But you need to tough on yourself. You need to be disciplined, and you keep yourself disciplined, and it should be coming from your inside, and then only it is going to be a simple thing. Otherwise if you do not get tough on yourself, then the life will become tough on you. And certainly in the second option, things would put a lot of conditions on your life, on your performance, on your working, everything. And first thing is your choice. So by choice you struggle, that is the way, and things will become possible. All big things will become possible in your life. By choice you do your struggle. Next, these are the numbers there you can call, and you can ask for these pen drive courses by StudyIQ. All are important, and exams are nearing, so these are going to be extremely important. These are words that I found, many words I found today, so you try them into sentences. Now the articles, these two are almost similar. These are talking regarding these issues of the Pulwama attack, what happened after that, and now what are the options available for us, and what are the options available with Pakistan, what is the condition there internationally if we are going to take this issue, then what are going to be the angles of it. So for GS paper 2 and 3 both, these are important articles. Okay, both. Now this is regarding the economy and the slowdown right now that is going on before the elections, and the phase that we should understand here. So this is regarding GS paper 3 importantly, and this issue is very crucial. This is talking about a very important point regarding the health sector. So GS paper 2 and 3 both are going to be important here, and we are going to talk about this issue also. It is talking about the other traditional forest dwellers issue and their eviction, and now the stay is there on the Supreme Court's order. So importantly, GS paper 3 and 2 both. And here this issue, this talks about a particular thing that is a kind of a great problem today, that whether it is a journalism or it is a propaganda, there is a subtle line, and their very subtle difference is there. The language of the anchor that decides that it's a journalism or it's a pure propaganda, and the thing that they use, same data they are going to both they are going to use in both these things, but the interpretation would be totally different, and the provocation and the emotions which are mixed in the propaganda, these are certainly not going to be there in journalism. Here the writer quotes the February 19th article, that what options India have after Pulwama, and it was February 19 when all these strikes and all these were not done. So February 19, it was a article by Happy Moon Jacob. Here he said that whatever options we have an option of airstrike now, and we had also discussed that article on February 19th. If you go by that, then there the writer Happy Moon Jacob said that there can be possibility if we are doing some kind of airstrike, then our planes may be shot down and our pilots may be captured, or maybe they would die in the process. So the same thing happened, and our pilot, but he was very lucky, he was captured, and now he is free and he's back to our nation again. So that is a kind of a relief for us. But you see, many things are, they need to be taken care of now, because we are only having diplomatic avenues available today. Whether we go for war or these diplomatic areas, these are open for now, and backdoor discussions, backdoor negotiations, they can be a great option. So we need to go very cautiously now, and the issue is of incessant and restrain less talking on the social media, on the media platform, and totally irresponsible as the India's some media houses they are behaving, and they are actually harming this nation in this process, because it is the time where we keep calm, where we think thoroughly, because we need to retaliate in a solid manner. We need to end the problem, and we want real solutions now. So for real solutions, you need to be calm. Minds only work in a condition where we are behaving in a patient manner, and our minds are calm, and we can think thoroughly. In this chaos, in this totally provoked situation, there is going to be only a political pressure on the authorities, on the government, and they will be bound to do some things which are coming out of emotions. This is not the time for the authorities. People may behave in an emotional manner, but for the authorities, for the government, it is not the time to be provoked. It is the time to think thoroughly, because they need solutions. Whatever has happened, that is done. But what about the future? We need to take care of the future, that more lives are not lost, more soldiers are not sacrificing their life for the country, because this is not a kind of a genuine reason to lose their lives. These are known state actors, and this is a total provocative scenario where these things are happening consistently till now. You see, in the last 2-3 days, 3-4 more Jawans, they have lost their lives. So this thing is going on. So it's a real challenge. The problem is not ended till now. So in this particular time, the journalists and the news anchors and these prime time media debates, they need to maintain a decorum. They need to maintain this particular ethical path, and they should not do any kind of further harm to this nation. Already many claims are very controversial, that immediately they told when these strikes happened that 400, 300, 250, 350 these much terrorists and all these teams of Jaish-e-Mohammed and all, they are killed, and everything we have taken a revenge, and everything is totally settled now. So they conveyed this message that it is totally a satisfactory condition and nation is very happy and all, and now these controversies are erupting now even the government spokespersons, they are saying that we have not given any kind of data. It is only on the TV news channels, and even the forces, they are saying that we are assessing the damage, and we cannot tell you the real numbers, that how many people were killed, because it is not possible. So from where these people brought these numbers? So these kind of things are actually very foolish, and in this particular phase where we are also under a lot of stress. First we lost so many Jawans of ours, and after that our pilot was captured there, and Pakistan got this particular chance where it raised this issue internationally, that India actually violated our territorial sanctity. So it became a fortunate situation for Pakistan where it got this chance, and it was a kind of unfortunate situation for us where we had alerted the authorities, and right journalism was telling about this issue, that this can be a possibility, and the same thing happened after that. But what about these news media houses who are actually provoking situations in all the directions, and whatever they are doing today, they are actually doing it with a particular intention, and this is the time before elections. So this provocation is actually going towards that. It is going less towards India's security. We need to take revenge, but it is going to be a solid one, and it should be a solid one. So for that we need a thorough thinking, we need a particular strategy, and in this pressure we cannot develop those kind of strategies, and that is needed from the authorities. So that is why it is the time that is very sensitive. So right now we are going to start with these articles. The week after, on India-Pak relations, India must keep up diplomatic pressure on Pakistan to act against terror groups. That is the best thing that we are able to do today, because war is not an option, because war is the next level where total devastation is there. Till now we have lost hundreds of our soldiers of lives, But if it is going to be the war, then the number can go up to thousands and maybe lakhs, and both are nuclear powers, so anything can happen and it will not be in anybody's hands. So that is the trouble. So we cannot go towards war, whether it is a pressure from India's media, social media, because these people, they have not seen war. That is the trouble. And that is why it is said that whoever who has seen war in reality, that never promotes war, that never supports war, because he or she has seen the devastation and the cries and everything after that. So that is in favor of no one, but certainly retaliation is needed, because it is ultimate provocation by non-state actors and supported by Pakistan. Evidences are there everywhere. But right now, this is the time where our diplomatic capital and our diplomatic power, that is to be used, that is to be invested. And now when things are somehow changed, when after this capture of our pilot, Pakistan is shouting a lot about this in the international scenario, on the international platform. So it is not like that these countries and these international bodies, they are only going to listen to us and they will take things as we want them to take it. It is not going to happen. They are also going to hear about Pakistan's case, because now Pakistan has this claim that India has violated our territory, and that is actually counted as a provocation for war. So what just happened? We lost our soldiers. Pulwama attack happened, and after that we did these air strikes and all, and our pilot was captured. And now Pakistan has this particular evidence that we attacked Pakistan's territory, and Pakistan says that we don't have anything to do with the non-state actors, although practically they all know about it, that Pakistan is a sponsor of terror. But officially this thing is very difficult, and even China said that we cannot declare China as a state sponsor of terrorist. So in this particular situation, they are certainly going to listen the case of Pakistan also. And the Afghanistan situation is going on, so USA is also going to be in a very complex situation where clearly it cannot take sides with India, and it needs Pakistan also in this Afghanistan Taliban situation. And Russia has proposed for mediation, but we never want mediation in this matter. We want a bilateral solution, because we know that is the only viable option here. So that is the situation. In this particular situation, we have seen that pressure was there on both the nations, and that is why some kind of de-escalation happened. And Trump took this credit, and he said that we tried for this, and the good news has been there. So this kind of thing is there, but it is about the changed scenario and the chance that Pakistan has got. Now in a way, Pakistan has defended Jaish-e-Mohammed, the chief Masood Azhar also. They are saying that he is totally on his bed, he is extremely sick, and some news are there in the social media that he has got liver cirrhosis and all. So he is very soon, he may die. Some rumors were there about his death also. So in a way, Pakistan has defended the JM chief, and this is how he is de-associating itself from the Jaish-e-Mohammed. And whatever attack and the responsibility was there from the Jaish-e-Mohammed, it is about the Pulwama attack, and the responsibility was taken by Jaish-e-Mohammed. So this is how Pakistan is de-associating itself from this main incident. And now the claim of territorial violation from India's side. So this is a particularly complex situation, and what we are going to do now, that is going to be very careful. And about this messaging also, the writer is saying government must have a firmer handle on its messaging also, because it is also creating a lot of confusions, and it is actually degrading our own stand. It is creating problems there. So we need to put some restraint here also. Now in the next article, actually one more big article is there regarding the same issue, so we are going to discuss that also. Before that, the economies issue. Right now the data that appeared 2 days back, that they have downgraded the prospects for the GDP growth. The 7% number is given now. It was 7.2. Now CSO has given a forecast of 7%, and the last quarter's growth was actually only 6.5%. So that can be a worrisome trend, because last month only they lowered these interest rates and all, and they tried to bring down the cost of borrowing so that more investment can be there and the growth can spur. But now the problem is, there a lot of sectors like farm sector, manufacturing sector, they are having some problems. Farm sector is actually there at 2.7%, and forestry and fishing, that is also at very low numbers, and they are under extreme pressure, extreme distress, and there are no bounds to their distress. That is going on, and this issue is not there in the media, because the Pakistan's the attacks, Pulwama attacks problem is going on, but this sector is actually struggling a lot, and that is why the growth is less. And one more issue is there, that deficient northeast monsoon. The southwest monsoon is in this direction from the Arabian Sea to India, but northeast monsoon, that is the retreating monsoon, when these winds are again coming back to their original position, original direction. So that is also deficient, and this primary sector is actually under stress. Primary sector means where we are getting all kinds of raw material, agriculture, mining, everywhere, directly from the earth we are getting these materials, raw materials. So this primary sector is actually struggling a lot, and consumption expenditure, that is also at the low stage at 8.4%. It was around 9.8%. Now it has come to 8.4%. So that is again a problem. And you see, it is the election season, so no businessman, no entrepreneur, they want to invest at this time, because many things may change, and the issue of military tensions is going on with Pakistan, and this is the biggest trouble for these people before elections, because anything may happen, and this is not going to be settled till the time next government is elected. So that is the thing, and who knows, government changes or government is going to change or not. So we don't know about that, and it is the biggest trouble for these investors and for foreign investors also. So that is why this is the time of speculation and low growth numbers. And you see, the IIP figures, they are also showing some shocking decline here. It was 8.7% 1 year back, and the manufacturing expansion is at now 2.7% only. IIP index released by CSO every 2 months, and they are showing the numbers of industrial production. So 2.7% it is there right now, and manufacturing's gross value addition, that is also at only 6.7%. It was 12.4%, and now 6.7%, just half. So this trouble is going on because this phase is very specific. It is the elections time. So this is the trouble that is going on. So these observations are actually very important, and understanding the problem is important, because based on these facts, these observations in the economy, questions are going to come in the prelims and in the mains stage both. Next article again regarding this attack. As you can see, Balakot was there in the Pakistan's territory, and this is POK's territory, and it is the line of control, and it is India. So these attacks actually changed the scenario, and Pakistan became much more important in this scene positively for themselves, because they got this chance that India has violated their territory, and it was a provocation of war internationally according to the rules. And we did this as a preemptive strike. We called it a preemptive strike, but the international community, and when this matter is going to be taken to the Security Council, then it is not possible that the way we are posing it as a preemptive strike, they are also going to take it in the same manner. Because from our side, it was the attack on the Jaish-e-Mohammed's terror groups and their settlements, and we had killed their people, these terrorists. But it is not going to be taken in the same way by these nations, other nations. So that can be a problem. And you see, this February 14th attack, it was the deadliest one in the Kashmir history on the security forces. That is the truth. So it was the ultimate level of provocation. So it was very much obvious from our side that we attack these groups. But the problem is these are known state actors, and Pakistan easily disassociates itself from these groups. Our strike was against these terror groups, but these are all supported by Pakistan, and they are all getting trainings and all kinds of support on the Pakistan's land. So that is why we needed to attack there. But now Pakistan is raising this issue as the territorial integrity and this sovereignty issue, and all these countries are going to be sensitive about it. And you see the complex situation, as I told you, USA is mired in a different kind of problem of Taliban and Afghanistan, and there it needs the support of Pakistan. Russia is no more interested. China is the all-weather friend. So all these things we had discussed in the past. And now, when all these happened, and after our pilot, he was captured, and when now Pakistan has taken the more high moral ground, and it is showing that we are sending him out of a good gesture and all. So whatever we take it as a situation, whatever we understand by it, whatever is running on our Indian media, and that is totally unrestrained, anything they are saying, that doesn't matter, because the thing is now a international matter, and we are going to take it. And certainly more Pakistan is going to take it to the Security Council, and there these things are going to be somewhat different. It is not going to be the same there. So there are evidences that Pakistan was totally involved here, but we need to see 2 years here, 1971 and 1998. In 1971 Bangladesh was created, and it was totally a win for us. We have fought 3 wars and we have won every time. There is no question that we are better than Pakistan today. But the trouble is we are not that much scary as a nation for Pakistan, that Pakistan will not be attacking us in any way, or it is not going to be involved in some kind of terror attacks, which are stealth attacks from his side. So it is not going to be like this. If we are not that much great a nation till now. We are better than Pakistan, certainly, and we are better than most of the nations of this world. But certainly we are not at that level that Pakistan is trembling in fear in these kind of situation. It is not like that, and it has got some points here. And you see, in the first year it was the dismemberment of Pakistan in 1971. In 1998 both India and Pakistan formally announced their emergence as the nuclear power. It happened, and in this particular phase between 1971 to 1998, in these years, in these 25 to 27 years, Afghan jihad, this phenomena became prominent, and these groups like Taliban and all these Al-Qaeda and all, they all became very strong, and the influence came on the Kashmir's issue also, and all these groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and all, their precursors, they got their birth. And Jaish-e-Mohammed was created after 1999 by Masood Azhar, when it got free after the Kandahar incident, where the plane was hijacked and he was demanded as a exchange. So after that he became the biggest enemy for India, and in Kashmir he has been doing all these attacks consistently, whether we talk about the Pathankot attack or the Parliament attack and all. So all these were done by Jaish-e-Mohammed, and the Lashkar-e-Toiba and Hizbul Mujahideen, these are different groups which are active here. So they all actually got their roots very firm in this particular phase between 1971 to 1998. And you see, Pakistan became the main beneficiary of this. As we all know, the Taliban was totally supported and promoted by Pakistan, and because of Pakistan only Taliban is there today. So that is why the biggest beneficiary remained the Pakistan country. Afghanistan was not that much strong after 70s. It is totally a devastated country. The government is not that much strong. So Pakistan became the beneficiary here. And you see, in this particular attack, we have all kinds of evidences against Pakistan. And in this battle against terror, I'm pointing out here against terror, not against Pakistan, against terror, India is more than willing currently to sidestep protocols, as we have done, that dictate conduct among nations not officially at war. Means we were not officially at war with Pakistan, but we crossed the territory. That was the provocation of war, and we had to do it because we were provoked ultimately. And this reality is certainly there, that Pakistan is gonna take this issue internationally, that we were violated and India actually provoked the war with Pakistan, and we don't war right now, so we are taking the high moral ground. So that's the trouble. And seriously, this issue could go in a very wrong direction if Pakistan would have also declared a war, because he had this point. We were not doing any kind of war, we were not involved in any kind of war, and we were only attacking these terror groups. But Pakistan could say this, that you provoked war, so we are also starting the war. So that could have been a very bad situation, a worse situation. But you see, now we both need to go in a very cautious manner. Government and as a nation, we all. Okay. Now see, as I told you that this is the provocation of war according to Pakistan, and no other country in this world today can afford this kind of situation. Although the situations are not same, although US, Russia like country, these are not attacked the way India is attacked. And as I told you, the reason is that they are much more capable, they are much more fierce a nation. Their capabilities, their intelligence, their investment in these defenses and all, they are huge. And that is why the countries like Pakistan, they do not dare to attack these nations like this. Although known state actors and these terrorists, they are active against them, but they have too much of capability, and their intelligence and their capacities, their weapon systems, their technologies, they are of different level, and India needs to reach there before we go on a war with Pakistan, and that thing we need to do. You see, in this article, the writer is saying that there is a Westphalian order, that sovereignty would be maintained and no other country would be allowed to violate this sovereignty and territorial integrity. But you see, escalations has happened in the past. There was the Cold War between US and USSR, but they never dropped any bomb or any kind of this negative escalation happened between these countries. They never violated the territory of each other. Otherwise, everything has happened between them. But you see, situations are different between India and Pakistan, and the Kashmir issue is one of the most controversial issue of this world. So here the writer wants to say that when we have done these airstrikes, we have actually done very sensitive a thing that is counted as a provocation of war internationally. So now we are caught in a different kind of situation. When we were actually having the edge against Pakistan, now Pakistan is also having a certain edge, and that is on the international level. So now this trouble is there, and we always say that we don't want any kind of mediation, but Pakistan is certainly going to take this issue internationally. And dilemma after 26/11, the attack happened, that time also these options were there, and they discussed that we should go with these preemptive strikes and all, but it was not possible for us. And other realities are that the reason that time they did not take these steps, because India lacked these kind of special forces the way Russia, Germany, USA, UK, these are having. US has SEALs, UK has SAS, and Russia has Spetsnaz. So we did not have these kind of special forces for these preemptive strikes, as we are calling them. They are having them. And the bigger thing is that still we don't have them. Still they do not exist. Why these were not established, and why we did not become aware about this? When we had attack in 2008, more than 170 people were killed, and many people were martyred. And here our soldiers are martyred, but still we are going like in the same way, but we are making different claims. So actually the situation is somewhat similar to that situation, although two situations are never identical, but somewhat on some levels we are standing on the same places. And now Pakistan has this particular edge where they captured our pilot. So now you see, these pinpointed attacks, they can only be done by these forces, special forces, which we need today. But the problem is there. And having already taken the step, we have done these strikes. So now it's a very complex situation, and now it demands our capability, it demands our particular diplomatic capital, our international image and everything. And you see, Pakistan does not endorse the first use policy of nuclear weapons, but we endorse, and all kinds of relaxations, all kinds of dealings regarding nuclear material, all kinds of the nuclear these uranium and all, these are given to India just because we are a peaceful nation, and we will never endorse these kind of situation, and we will never use nuclear weapons in any kind of war. And because of this image only we were allowed in this. Otherwise we did not sign the CTBT, and still we could do this civil nuclear deal with America, and Australia is also giving us uranium and all. So all these things are possible because of India's image only. And now when internationally we are caught in a different kind of a complex situation where Pakistan can say something about India, then we need to take care about that also. Okay, so that's a situation. So I'm giving you a particular mains question based on this issue, and you try to write in 250 words. Next, the basics are vital. It is regarding a very sensitive issue of health sector. You see, we came up with this National Health Policy of 2017. We have targets of TB for 2025. We have targets for malaria AIDS for 2030, and NCD's burden that is coming. So we brought this National Health Policy of 2017, and it has certain targets. It has target that we make our budget allocation for health sector for 2.5% of GDP till 2025. That's actually shameful. If we look at the situation of this country, then actually this is shameful. It should be more than 5%, 6%, 7%. But we are targeting 2.5% for 2025. Right now it is around 1% of GDP only. That's shocking. And you see, in 2011, one high-level expert group said that nearly 70% of the government spending that should go towards the primary health care. And what is the situation here now? That National Health Mission is actually the main mission of India, and it is the biggest initiative for health we have, and that is tackling the India's health scenario for the last 13 years that is going on. And the allocation of total health budget to this NHM was around 70%, but right now it is around 50%. It has come down, and we all know about the budget allocations to these health sector and all. We all know about that. So primary health care is kind of a ignored area right now. If we look at the budget numbers, you see, we actually targeted to convert these sub health centers and primary health centers into wellness centers, and the number would be around 1.5 lakh. 1.5 lakh hospitals are going to be converted into wellness centers by 2022. But last year we allocated only 1200 crore rupees, and this year 1600 crore rupees. But what we actually need, according to government's own data, we need around 3600 crore to 4500 crore rupees. But we were able to give only 1600 crore rupees, means we are short of 3000 crore rupees for our own data, for our own targets, as the government puts it. Government says that 16 lakh rupees are needed minimum to convert a sub health center into a wellness center. But here what we are allocating, we are nowhere near to that, and it is government's own data. And they are saying that 15,000 of new health and wellness centers are planned for 2019 and 20. If we go with this particular speed, then it is only going to be around 50,000 wellness centers till 2022, and they are targeting 1.5 lakh. That means short of 1 lakh centers, and that is also not possible because the way we are allocating the budget, that is a problematic thing. And you see, NHM's share, as I told you, it was 73% in 2006, and it has become 50% in 2019. It has two components: National Rural Health Mission, and it has National Urban Health Mission. So it is the main initiative, it is the main scheme for health sector in India, and it is having a decline of around 23%. And you see, Ministry of Finance said there should be around 17% increase in the NHM budget allocation, but we could only give 3.4% more budget. It was the only increase. So it is not even an increase. We cannot practically call it an increase if you look at the budget holistically. And you see, what is a different problem here? Center is looking fairly committed to increasing access to hospitalization. Hospitalization and primary health care, these are two different things. The main responsibility of the state is of the primary health care, and there they need to allocate the budget. But they are going towards the scheme like Jan Arogya scheme. That is a welcome scheme if they are very much honest people and their intention is really great about this country. And if the private sector, these hospitals, they are also very much honest people and they don't want profit and they only want the health of India. If these kind of ideal things are there, then certainly Jan Arogya scheme is going to be really great and it is totally welcomed. But the reality is different. What is happening here? Primary healthcare is somewhat ignored. Less budget is there consistently, and 167% increase is there in this Yojana of Jan Arogya Yojana. It's a health protection scheme, insurance scheme. Here they are allowing private sector hospitals also. Then what is going to happen in this country? When people go to government hospitals, they are always overcrowded and less facilities are there. The unhygienic conditions, the doctors are not there, staff is not there, nobody is taking care. So everybody wants to get admitted into a private hospital. Now when they will have 5 lakh rupees per year in this particular scheme, Jan Arogya scheme, and these numbers are 10 crore families, means more than 50 crore rupees, 50 crore people are going to be affected by this. Means 50 crore people, they all would want to get a treatment into a private hospital, because those are clean places and specialists are there, but they only need money, they will need profit, but they will make available a cure for you, they will treat you. So everybody would want to go towards private hospitals, and these are going to be benefited in this scheme because they will always come up with hefty bills, always. And if they know that you are having an insurance, then the bill would become double and triple in the amount. But these people, they would be ready for this because they have this protection scheme. So ultimately, if the intention is wrong, I'm saying here we are taking two angles. Positively, this is a very great and game changer scheme. But if their intention is wrong, and if the private hospitals, they are targeting profit, then certainly it can become a bane. It will not be a boon, it will become a bane, because they will be compensated here in this Jan Arogya Yojana, and maximum people would want to go to private hospitals after this particular scheme. So ultimately you are benefiting private hospital, private sector only, and here you are targeting, here you are ignoring the private health sector and you are allocating less budgets there. That means you are escaping from your main responsibility, and hospitalization is all you are focusing here. So that can be a problematic thing. Okay, so that is the trouble here, and the data, they show that there is a extreme staff shortage. Only 7% to 12% sub health centers and primary health centers, they meet Indian public health standard norms. So it's a very problematic thing. And you see, there is no alternative to strengthening primary health care. If you are focusing only hospitalization, and that is only going to be mainly in the private hospitals, so you are focusing hospitalization only and you are ignoring primary healthcare, then nowhere this is going to solve the problem of healthcare of India, and poor would be suffered. Because these kind of schemes, it is not necessary that this will go on for a longer period of time. Maybe some other government would come and they would scrap the scheme, so that can be a trouble. So when we are announcing in our budget speech that we are targeting out of the pocket expenditure here, and that is why Jan Arogya Yojana is a great scheme. But you see, actual out of the pocket expenditure is maintained by this primary healthcare and budget allocation to this particular area. It is not going to be possible with the Jan Arogya scheme, because here the main beneficiaries are going to be the private sector hospitals and private facilities, and this can be a major trouble. And we all know who give money to these political parties during election time. It is not poor people, it is private sector and these entrepreneurs and all these business people. And private hospitals, these are businessmen only. They are mainly working for the profit, as we all know. Most of them, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them, they are working for the profit there. And that is why they come up with these hefty bills, and many cases we see that ignorance is there if money is not there. Okay, so without this, the ninth dimension, as we brought 10 dimension in the Vision 2030 document, and graciously we hailed that there is not going to be any kind of poverty in this nation after 10 years, and there is not going to be any kind of disease in India after 10 years. All kind of problems they solved in this vision document 2030 within 10 years, and they said that it is going to be totally eco-friendly a nation, very beautiful nation, Swachh Bharat, and within 10 years we are going to solve all the problems, they said in this document, vision document, as they came up with it. So in it, the ninth dimension is about the healthy India. So it is not going to be fulfilled if these things are not taken care of, and if we are not going to increase the budget of primary health care. That is the issue. So means question I'm giving here, and now the next article is regarding the issue that is repeated one, and most of these data are repeated one. And the writer wants to say here that all these NGOs and all, they are mainly working for these people, mostly these NGOs only, and these authorities, they are having some problem with it because some angles are always there. Here you see the issue of Gram Sabha, where Gram Sabha's allowance that is needed in these mining projects and all, and in many cases like Vedanta case of Niamgiri Hills in Odisha, there these all Gram Sabhas of this area, they did not allow that mining, and that is why that could not be proceeded further. And in the case of Himachal Pradesh, where in Lipa, all these Gram Sabhas and all these locals, they decided that we don't want a hydel power project here, we want our nature. So that could not go further. And in many other cases, it is seen that these people are mainly with nature. Where they are living according to the nature's norms, and their houses and all they are coming from the nature only. So anywhere they are not devastating for the biodiversity or the forest areas. That is seen clearly. But you see, when half of their claims they are cancelled by authorities, then it became a problem, and Supreme Court's order actually was devastating for these people. But now it's a stay on the decision of the Supreme Court. And these tribals, you see, nowhere in this world it is seen that these people are harmful for the nature. Always they are appreciated. Indigenous communities, their knowledge, that is always appreciated, and they are always helpful for the ecosystem. That is seen. But here the different case is there. So there can be a different angle to this problem. There can be a negative intention also, because as we all know, according to the rules of Forest Right Acts and the PESA Act, the allowance of the Gram Sabha is needed in these projects and all, and the authorities, they want clearances for most of these projects. They always want to allow them, but these rules of these acts, they stop them. And the Gram Sabha and allowances and the assent of these people, that is the problem for these authorities. So it can be an angle if negatively they are dealing with it, if their intention is wrong. I'm saying if their intention is wrong, then that can be an angle in this problem. And that is why Supreme Court has directed again that look into this matter and find out if any kind of problem is there, if these are ignored, and if false claims are made and they intentionally are cancelling these claims. So this thing is needed to be checked down. In this picture you can see the Dongriya Kond tribe of Odisha's Niamgiri Hills. It's a very famous matter, Niamgiri Hills. It's a hill, and around this hill they all live, and they consider this hill as a very holy for them, and they actually take it as a deity for them. So Niamgiri Hills, Niam Raja they call it. So it is the same issue the way we have seen in the Avatar movie, where these people in the Hollywood movie Avatar, they considered a particular tree as their god. So here the same issue was there, and here these people they were dealing with the Vedanta issue, and it was the $1.7 billion bauxite mining project. Bauxite is the ore of aluminium, and that is mainly found in the Odisha's jungles. So they wanted clearance for that, but it was not possible because of these gram sabhas of these tribals. So you suppose a situation where maximum of these tribals, they are removed from these jungles and they are evicted from there, then the clearances for these projects would be very easy to get. So that's the angle here. So historical injustice has been always there with these tribes and with these poor people. They are not a part of the mainstream development, and always they are having problem, but they are still embracing nature, and that is why they are not leaving forest, and we are forcing them to go out of it. We are actually harming the nature and the ecosystem actually by evicting these people. So this is the angle of this problem. Now, as I discussed, we are trying again to bring him to the Security Council at any cost. The Masood Azhar, this person, the chief of Jaish-e-Mohammed, he should be declared as the international terrorist, and maybe this time China would not veto this proposal because many evidences are there, and this time it is high time, and it is expected from China that it supports this agenda, and it is brought up by UK, USA and France. Okay, these three countries were there before also, when the last 3 times we proposed this idea, and they are again bringing this particular proposal. Next, these are the MCQs. Try them, try their answers in the comment section, and the map work I have given you, and I have given you 2 mains questions today. So I have covered all these topics today, all these articles. Nothing is left in the today's newspaper. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was a bit selling, and the PDF you will get on the Telegram channel and on the Facebook group of mine. You can send me a request and I would approve. I upload these PDFs daily on this Facebook group. Thanks a lot. Keep watching. It was a bit selling.